Time management is an issue for every college student. You have a lot of things to do, a lot of tests, assignments, papers to write, presentations to do, plus you have your daily life, appointments, doctor appointments, study sessions, family time, sleep, eat, things like that. What is time management? Time management is to manage all activities and prioritize all tasks, and to see how long it takes you to complete those tasks so that you can manage your time properly. Fact: 72% of college students maintain a steady job. 20% of those college students work full-time. It is very difficult to work full-time and do college. I'm doing it, I know. Activities. You can establish goals. Goals are, how long is it going to take you to complete this assignment? Set a goal. I want this assignment done. It's not due for 2 weeks. I want it done in a week. So I can go over it, see if any changes need to be made, and get them done, and then turn it in when it's due. Next, you want to follow a schedule. There are different types of schedules that you can make. You can do a month at a glance. That's where you just write down in your monthly calendar what assignments are due when, what time classes are, when you have tests, when you have quizzes, if papers are due, presentations are due, appointments that you have, personal appointments that you have, things like that. Next, you're going to want to do a weekly prioritize list. You want to prioritize everything for the week. Sometimes it can get detailed. Sometimes people do it to every minute has something going on in a 24-hour period of each day for 7 days. You want to prioritize what assignments are more important, which ones are more difficult, which ones take more time, when they're due, make sure they're all done by the time that they are due. They also have a semester plan. A semester plan you set out for the entire semester. You need to read your course schedule first and foremost. You take those points from your course schedule and you can you want to study close to class times. That always seems to help, especially if you're having a test. Sometimes it'll help keep things fresh in your brain when you go to take your test. You want to pick peak concentration hours. What times do you realize that you have more concentration? What time can you sit down and pay attention more often? A lot of times for some people it's in the morning, some people it's night, sometimes it's the middle of the day. It all depends on you as a person. Next, you're going to want to look at studying difficult subjects first. If you have trouble with a subject and it takes you more time, you are going to want to study that subject first. You want to put that into your calendar, prioritize it in your weekly priority list, put it in your semester plan. You want to do distributed learning. Instead of doing 3 hours one night, you want to do 1 hour for 3 nights. If you do 1 hour for 3 nights, you are more than likely to remember and maintain the information that you have read and that you have studied. That's very important to remember. 3 hours, you're cramming everything in. You get antsy. You don't want to sit there anymore. You get bored. So you want to break it up. You know, study in what they say 50-minute blocks. So 1 hour each night. You want to take breaks. If you have to do long study sessions, you need to take breaks. You need to learn to get up, walk away for a little while, do something, come back to it, get something to eat. You also want to make sure that you use your daylight hours. That's important. They say that for every 1 hour that you study during the day is equal to an hour and a half of study time at night. So they say that you can retain more if you study during daylight time because you are more awake. It gets night out, it gets dark, a lot of people get sleepy, they can't pay attention too well, so it's daylight time. Best time to study. You want to make it livable. You need to make your schedule livable. You can't cram all your studying in and forget to plan time for you. You need time for you or you're just going to get stressed out. You're not going to be able to handle it anymore. You need time to be healthy. That's important. time for eating. Make sure you eat healthy. Plenty of sleep. You know, a lot of people say they don't need a lot of sleep, but it's recommended that you get at least 8 hours of sleep a night, and that's a good idea, especially before a test, so that you're well rested and you're not falling asleep during your tests. You need to be organized. No clutter. You should do separate notebooks for each of your classes or separate binders. So if you know that you have a test coming, you can go into your notebook, your binder for that class and know where your notes are. Break the binder up if you have to, or the notebook, into different sections. And this one's on, you know, break it up into chapters if you have to. They have tabs. You put tabs in there. You know, tabs, chapter 1, chapter 2, you know, different types of subjects that you're doing in those classes. That way everything's easy to find, plenty of time to study it. You also need a place to study. Quiet, well lit, no distractions. Distractions are bad. It happens to a lot of people. They get distracted, they sit down, they start playing with their phones, going on the internet, Facebook, whatever other objects you might use. You don't want to do that. Put your phone away while you're studying. Quiet. Libraries are good because they're always quiet. Be by yourself. If you're in a library, you don't want to sit in a large group because then you kind of get loud and it disturbs other people. So if you're in a library, you need to be by yourself. Best time to really concentrate is when you're by yourself. If you have a study group, great. Let's do a study group. Bouncing ideas off other people, they can help you learn in different ways. That's always good. Some time-saving tips. Improve your skills. Note-taking skills. Test-taking skills. Once you improve those skills, it can save time because you know how to take notes properly. You can take tests more efficiently if you have certain ways of doing it. You can also do, if there's handouts for classes, take the handouts. Read them. Go over them. You know, take the tips other people give you for time saving and time management. It's always good. Yes, a lot of colleges will offer workshops that you can take on time management. They're always good to take. They will help you. They can point you in some directions that I may not be able to, but they are very useful. I looked at a few presentations some people did on time management. Use lists, priority lists. Lists are always important. Checklists. Check off everything that you need to do for that day. Make a list of everything that needs to be done that day. Check it off as you do it. Keep it put up somewhere where you can see it so that you don't forget about it. And check everything off one by one as you do them. You don't have to go in order. You can do them as you see fit in your schedule, but you know that all those things on that list have to be done for that day. That's a really good way to look at it. My references I used an article from the NYU.edu website, Time Management. I used an article from University of Wisconsin, 6 Tips to Time Management. And I also used one from Ramson College. They had an article on there for time management as well. Thank you.